All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Right.
We all have those big dreams, right? Those
Right.
huge goals, the things we picture ourselves doing, like someday I'm going to write a novel or someday I'm going to climb Mount Everest.
Right.
But how do we actually get from like that dreamy someday stage
Yeah.
to actually like making it happen?
Totally.
So that's what we're talking about today. And we've got this really cool article to help us out here. It's called Stop Chasing Dreams, Start Creating Reality.
I love that title.
I know, right? It really gets to the heart of it.
It does.
So we're going to break down this article, figure out what it's really saying about how to actually achieve those things that we dream about.
I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
Ew.
So, first off, let's acknowledge the fact that dreams are important, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like there's that initial spark, the thing that gets us excited and gives us something to aim for.
That's the fuel right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the article makes this really interesting point. Sometimes focusing too much on just the dream itself
Okay.
can actually hold us back.
I can see that.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's like if you're so fixated on the end goal, that huge dream,
Right.
you don't actually figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
It's like you said, trying to climb Mount Everest, but with no plan
Right.
or equipment, just kind of like, I'm just going to start walking.
And hope for the best.
You're not going to get very far.
No, you're not.
So that's where the article's emphasis on becoming a doer, not just a dreamer, comes in,
I like that. Doer, not a dreamer.
right? You got to take action.
So how do we do that? How do we actually transition from like the big picture dream to like, okay, what are the steps?
Well, the article uses this great example of someone who wants to run a marathon.
Okay.
Now, that's a big goal, right?
Yeah, 26.2 miles.
You don't just wake up one day and run a marathon.
No.
You start with a plan.
Right.
Maybe you run a mile, then you run 2 miles, and you slowly bean up to it.
Okay, so it's like breaking it down into smaller, more manageable chunks.
Exactly. And that's what we need to do with our dreams, too.
So like with my writing a novel example,
Yeah.
instead of just picturing myself at my book signing,
Right.
I need to like, okay, what's the first step?
Exactly.
Maybe it's outlining the plot
Right.
or setting a daily word count goal,
That's a good one.
something like that.
And the article talks about setting what are called SMART goals.
Smart goals.
Have you heard of these?
I think so. Remind me.
It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Oh, okay.
So instead of just saying, I want to write a novel.
Right, which is very vague.
Exactly. Your goal could be, I'm going to write 500 words every morning for the next 6 months.
Okay, so you're giving yourself a specific and measurable thing to actually do.
Yeah. And you can track your progress and see how you're doing.
I love that.
It's like taking that vague dream and turning it into a GPS route with clear directions.
No more wandering around lost.
Exactly. You know where you're going.
Okay, so we've got our SMART goals. We've broken things down into steps. What else does this article talk about that can help us?
Well, another big thing is the power of habits.
Habits.
You know how some days you just wake up and you're not feeling motivated,
Oh, yeah, all the time.
relying solely on willpower to achieve your goals? It's tough.
It is.
That's where habits come in.
So how do habits help?
Think of it like this: willpower is like trying to climb that mountain with your bare hands again.
Oh, no, not the bare hands
I
again.
know, right? But habits are like having ropes and carabiners.
Okay, I'm liking this analogy.
They give you that support system.
So even if I'm not feeling inspired one day, if I have a habit of writing those 500 words every morning,
Yeah.
I'll probably still do it.
You're more likely to because it's just what you do.
It's built in. It's part of my routine,
Exactly. It takes the pressure off of relying on motivation.
which can be so fleeting.
It can come and go.
It does.
Habits are more reliable.
So the article emphasizes small, consistent actions,
Yes.
building up over time.
Like, think about Olympic athletes.
Okay.
They don't just magically become amazing.
Right.
It's years of disciplined daily training.
It's those habits.
Yeah, those habits are what lead to those gold medals.
That's a great point. But, we also have to acknowledge that sometimes things don't go perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. Life throws curveballs.
It does.
You might hit a roadblock or two on your journey.
Like an avalanche on our mountain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where the article talks about the importance of adaptability and resilience.
Okay, so being able to adjust when things get tough.
Yeah. It's not about giving up on your dream, but about being flexible in how you get there.
So for my writing example,
Yeah.
if I hit a wall and I'm just totally blocked,
Yeah.
I can't write.
Writer's block.
Yeah, instead of just quitting,
Right.
I need to find a way to get around
You
it.
got to problem solve.
Okay, so like try a different writing technique
Yeah.
or take a break,
Maybe do some research.
get some fresh inspiration.
Exactly.
So it's about being willing to change course if needed.
And the article gives the example of early internet companies.
Yeah.
The ones that survived and thrived weren't necessarily the ones with the perfect initial plan,
Right.
but the ones who were able to adapt as the internet was changing so rapidly.
So they were flexible.
They rolled with the punches.
I like that. So much good stuff in this article.
It is packed with useful advice.
If our listener was going to take away just like 3 main points, what would you say they are?
Okay, so first things first, write those dreams down.
Get them out of your head.
Don't just let them float around up there.
I love it.
And then break those big dreams down into smaller, actionable steps.
So you can actually start doing something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Turn that vague dream into a concrete to-do list.
And then finally,
Till those habits.
those consistent daily or weekly actions,
That's how you turn those dreams into reality.
like finding an accountability partner
Yes.
or setting aside specific time in your schedule.
Like it's a meeting with your dream.
I love that.
You wouldn't miss a meeting with someone important.
So treat your dreams with that same level of importance.
Exactly.
Awesome. So to sum it all up, it's not about giving up on dreaming big. It's about recognizing that to achieve those big things,
Yeah.
we need to shift from just passively wishing to actively making it happen.
I couldn't agree more.
It's about creating reality, not just chasing dreams.
That's the key takeaway right there.
All right, so on that note, here's a little something for everyone to think about as you go about your week.
Okay.
What's one small habit you can start building today to make one of your dreams a reality?
I love that challenge.
It's all about taking action.
One step at a time.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.